Hi, everybody, and welcome to the very final week 12 of Blueprint. Now, this is where all of the bonus material is finally starting to come together. And in this section, we're going to be talking about every single thing that a man has to go through when he enters back into the actual dating market now. When you enter back into the sexual playing field, you're going to be hit with all of these obstacles. You're going to be hit with text game. You're going to be hit with cell phone game. You're going to have to learn how to approach the correct way. You're going to have to speak in the proper tone. You're going to have to harness basically every single thing that makes a man a man. And the thing is when you put all of these pieces of the puzzle together, not only are you going to have the advantage that none of the other men have, but you're absolutely going to crush it when it comes to dating. Now, here's the deal. If you've paid attention in this course, you should have went through a massive change by now. Everything should be different about you. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, what you view relationships as. And not only that, you should now finally be able to be the chooser and not just the one waiting to be chosen. Okay, if you were the one waiting to be chosen in the past, that time is far gone. And the reason why it needs to be far gone is because by this point now you have every single tool in your arsenal necessary to making sure that you do not get taken, you do not get heartbroken, and that you're totally in control of the outcome. Which means that whether you choose to have a million one-night stands throughout this next year, or you choose to settle down and get a great girlfriend to where you could potentially one day have that companionship, you should know how to operate in the correct frame, because the whole key is to not lose frame, to not lose masculine frame, to not lose masculine energy. As soon as you slip up into that, you're going to be hit with all of the pullbacks, all of the tests, all of the obstacles. The key is to recognize it before it happens. Now, throughout this, we're going to be talking about in week 12, everything that men are going through when it comes to oftentimes sexual pressure, performance anxiety, erectile dysfunction, how to get out of your head, and how to make sure that you have a firm grasp on any sort of insecurity that you have within yourself and how to get over it. This week 12 bonus is an absolute game changer. And if you've made it this far, if you've watched me speak all of these hours, if you've watched every single module in Blueprint, not only do I want to congratulate you right now for being a 1% man, but I need you to start to spread the message. And not only that, I need you to continue to sharpen the sword. I need you to continue to check in on these Q&As. I need you to still be using me as a one-on-one coach for guidance and access, because here's the deal. If you start to lose this mentality, if you don't use it, you lose it. This is like riding a bike. Okay, so I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. By now, you should be going on dates. You should be the one who's in control of the outcome. And not only that, you should have women that actually want to enjoy you. So stay tuned through this week. It's a little extra bonus. After you get through week 12, pay attention in the very final module, because I'm going to be pointing you specifically towards another thing that I want you to do after the blueprint happens to take that next and final step in your masculinity journey. Congrats on your success. Hi everybody, in this video we're going to be talking about general insecurities. Okay, so many men have issues with themselves that they oftentimes look in the mirror and they're not happy, they're not satisfied. They think their nose is too big, their hairline's too receded, they're too overweight, their teeth are too bad, they need braces, they need new clothes, they need a new car, they're insecure about their house, they're insecure about anything you can possibly think of. Men are going to have insecurities. The truth is that people in general have insecurities. So here's the deal, fellas. Every man on earth is going to have general insecurities. And the more attractive a person is, typically the more they also have. And the reason for that is because the more attractive a person is, the more they're in the eye of other people. The more they're seen, the more they're noticed, the more they're heard, and the more people are actually paying attention. So the truth is that even celebrities have insecurities, even movie stars, even NFL players, and even rappers all have insecurities. And the truth is that these guys have the biggest insecurities of them all. Okay, the celebrities need the spotlight because they fought tooth and nail to get it, because deep down there was probably some feeling of inadequacy. Okay, NFL football players, yeah, it might seem like they're confident, they have all this status, they have a few $1,000,000 in the bank, but if you strip that away from them, they would feel like an average Joe Blow. Okay, the thing with that is, like, it's materialistic confidence, it's not true self-worth. So the thing is that you got to realize is everybody has insecurities. And the fact is that this can actually be a good thing, because you can use insecurities to keep propelling your life forward, but you have to know that there's no made it point. Okay, you're not going to just like, if you're a bit overweight and you go to the gym and you get like an outline of some abs or something, it's not like all of your insecurities are going to go away. You're still going to feel like insecure about random topics about yourself. There is no made it point. And that's what a lot of people don't get. There's no made it point with anything. It's like everything is so gradual that it just happens so slowly. So if you look at general insecurities, this is a video I recommend all of you will go and watch. Okay, because Grant Cardone is worth, I would say, close to even $2 billion right now, and he still says that he has them every single day. Okay, so this man's accomplished, what would take 100 men to do throughout a lifetime, as far as like financial success or status or anything like that. Okay, he says he still wakes up with insecurities every single day. Insecurities about himself, insecurities about how he looks, insecurities about his business, and he says word for word on this. In this video, I heard him say word for word, he goes, I truly feel if I did not have insecurities, it would have propelled my life forward faster. He thinks he would have done bigger things. And it's true, because the thing is that the insecurities is what holds guys back. But here's the problem. The problem with this is that it's all mental, and even he has them. Like, yes, he can push past them. Yes, he has pushed past them to a big degree where he still accomplishes mainly whatever goal he sets his mind to, but you got to realize even he feels this way, even he thinks this way. And this never just goes away. There is no made it point, there is no end point. You're going to have this forever. What you're going to have to learn how to do is not give a fuck, because everybody has them. So if you look at women, for example, women have these insecurities even way, way more than men do. And here's proof. A woman in society is told that she needs makeup, she needs high heels, she needs fake nails, she needs colored hair, she needs fake eyelashes, she needs big tits and a big ass, or she's not pretty. And even if the woman's beautiful on the inside and on the outside, this is what they're told that they need, or they're not shit. They ain't worth shit. Big ass, big tits, and fake everything else. Or society and social media essentially tells them that every day they are not attractive. You're not the Victoria's Secret model look. You're not the Instagram booty model look. You're not the Kim Kardashian look. And guess what? She's more insecure or nervous than you. And the reason for that is because women are even held to a higher standard of their insecurities than men are. So the reason why I tell you this is just to know, like, you're not alone in this. It's not like the woman you're looking at is the Man of Steel, Superman, and you're Play-Doh. It's that, like, she's not bulletproof either. Both of you have flaws. People have flaws in general. People are not perfect. And it's going to be a person's mentality. It's going to be how a person looks. Like, everybody's going to have little hang-ups about themselves or about other people. So here's what you got to remember is that insecurities don't matter as much, because energy is everything with a woman. Energy is literally everything. So if you're insecure about something, right, it's not that she's necessarily turned off by it. Because if you can maintain frame, you can maintain masculine frame, you can maintain masculine energy, you can maintain this, guess what's going to happen? She will still be turned on, because she sees that she can't find a chink in your armor. She sees that you're not flawed by it. So it is the fact that now, since there probably is a chink in your armor and she knows it, if she can see that you're insecure about something, that is what's going to turn her off. So insecurities show through your speech. It shows through your sub-communication. It doesn't just show through your looks. It's not like she can look at you and go, oh, he's bald, I automatically know he's insecure. Doesn't work like that. However, if this guy is bald and now his sub-communication's off, he's timid, his speech patterns are not fluid, he seems nervous, well, guess what's going to happen? Now she's going to see, like, this is not a guy that's been there, done that. This is a guy that has flaws with himself, and it's going to turn her off. Now, here's an example. My job, my profession, what I do in life, I help men with their dating and with their masculinity. That's what I do. Casey Zander, like this, here's what I do. This is what I help men with. It's a different type of occupation. It's a different type of job. Like, I have my courses that I help you guys with. I have my Q&As. I'm very passionate about it. Now, here's an example. Like, this is fact. This is what I do. This is who I am. I can be extremely weird about this in a conversation, and I can say, yeah, well, so what I do is like, I kind of like, I help men, and some men have dating issues, and I'm good at dating, so I try. And it sounds timid, it sounds weak, it sounds pathetic. It sounds like I'm worried about other people's judgment. Or what I can do is I can express with the energy how cool I think it is. I can say, well, guys, get this. So it's so cool because so many men are struggling, and I can literally help them each and every single day get over these things. So I take guys that are like, have no experience with women, and all of a sudden they totally turn their life around and find partners and live an excellent life. Now that sounds way more cool because I'm passionate about it. And guess what? She will now follow me. She's going to follow myself, my energy. The reason for that is because men lead and women follow. If she sees that the energy is right there, and I'm cool about this right here. Like, I'm calm, I'm cool, I'm collected about what I do. All of a sudden, the energy is positive. She's gonna follow that. So when I say men lead and women follow, it's a cold, hard truth. This is why in week 11, we ask ourselves, why is the man not comfortable with himself to begin with? This is a firm question you got to ask. Why are you not comfortable with yourself to begin with? And we kind of bust through that, and we start to realize that your identity is malleable. Who you are can change. Who you need to be in a certain situation can adapt. And if you can fix this and really internalize it and believe that you're attractive by default, you win. So these general insecurities, there's no easy way to tell you this, but you have to get over it. You have to realize it doesn't matter because the women don't care. The women don't care necessarily if you're going bald or if your nose is a little bit big. They care if you care. And if you care, now they care. If you don't give a fuck about it and they can tell you don't give a fuck about it, well, guess what? Now you're an attractive, pre-selected guy who doesn't necessarily care about others' judgment. Bingo, bango, bungo. You win. These are general insecurities. You have to understand that everybody has them, every man on earth. Hi everybody, Casey Zander here, and in today's video we're going to be discussing insecurities that you can control. So there's two types of insecurities, and I'm going to teach you how to get over both types. The first type that we have to break down is going to be the ones that you can control. So anything that you can control means that you get to actually dictate the outcome. You get to change what's going to happen. And if you can control it, that's really good, because if it's an insecurity for you, that means you can work on it and it can be fixed. Here's where a lot of guys kind of fuck up. When they realize it can be fixed, they psych themselves out in their brain. And the reason for this is because the brain wants to go to the path of least resistance. And for most men, the path of least resistance is going to be bitching. Okay, it's going to be bitching and crying about their current situation. And when they bitch and cry, what happens is that nothing happens. So here's the thing. If you're fucking broke, like, I don't know how to say this, you can control this. And this might take you 6 months. This might take you 1 year. This might take you 3 years, maybe 3 to 5 years to really be like well off or wealthy. But dude, like, it can be done. It's not like you got to work your whole life. Like, the whole benefit of working smarter, not harder, is being able to reap the rewards and the fruits of your labor. This, in the grand scheme of things, to figure this out, to have the next, 30 years of mental sanity is like the easiest trade-off ever. Like, who wouldn't sacrifice 6 months to 5 years of shit for 30 years of mental well-being? The other thing is your body. Okay, your body is so important because your body is your temple as to where you can actually feel fit, feel strong, feel healthy. Most men just bitch and complain about this. When in reality, even if you're 40 pounds overweight, man, you can lose that in 4 months. 4 months, you can change your whole life around. So you got to not bitch and cry. You got to actually take control of this shit. Insecurities that you can control. So here's the deal. If there's something about yourself that can actually be fixed and you don't fix it, that is on you. And that's going to be a huge turnoff to the woman because it shows that you are fucking lazy. It shows that you're fucking lazy. You got to understand this. If you're fat and you don't take care of it, guess what? People can get fit. Whether you want to believe it or not, whether you want to keep telling people you're big boned or not, it don't work. So this is the cock block method. The cock block method or the cock block theory is when a guy does anything possible to cock block himself. Do not do this. Here's what a guy does. A guy typically will just cock block himself. He'll cock block himself and then he'll bitch about women. And when he cock blocks himself, like he might live at his mom's house, super embarrassed about it, major cock block, but he never fixes it. He might be fat, major cock block, but he never fixes it. He might be the type of guy where when he goes on dates, his credit card gets declined. Major cock block, but he doesn't fix it. All of these need to just be fixed, so that way you don't cock block yourself, because the truth is that you could be attractive, but you're not putting in the work to change anything. The work is everything, you guys. And because the work's everything, you got to understand that lazy men is the biggest turnoff to women because it shows that you have no masculine drive or ambition. This right here, masculine drive and ambition, I've said this in other modules, this is the number one turn on to all women. If she sees that you are driven beyond belief, she will continue to come back into your realm, back into your domain, more than anybody else, specifically because she wants to lock down the guy who's going somewhere. Some of you may say that that's hypergamy, or that, she's playing to her strength, or she's trying to lock you down because she thinks you have money or whatever. It doesn't matter. Guys who do things are attractive, just like girls who do things. Like if I see a girl who goes to the gym, who's really pretty, who's into fitness and takes care of herself and has a good job, yeah, that's going to be way more attractive than some chick who just binge drinks and can hardly pay rent. So you got to understand this. So it's real simple. If you are fat, just get fit. This is the biggest key. If you're fat, get fit. Start living and doing the things that fit people do. So if you're fat because you sit on the couch and play Xbox all day, take your Xbox and throw it in a swimming pool. Take your Xbox and slam it into a million pieces with a sledgehammer. Start doing things that fit people do. Fit people probably don't sit on their ass and play video games all day. If you're fat, go take every box of Cheez-Its and Chips Ahoy in your cupboard and throw it in the trash can. Fit people are going to buy vegetables and lean sources of protein so they can keep their muscle mass. It's easy. You start living and doing things that fit people do, well, guess what? Now you get fit. Point blank, period. If you're broke, get rich. So many guys have mental barriers in their head with money. They think that money is just impossible to get. You can get money doing anything. You can get money learning a skill. You can get money helping people. You can get money investing. You can get money trading. You can get money building a business. It's just start doing and living things rich people do. This is the key. When you live and do things that rich people do, it comes down to 99% mentality versus 1% mentality. So, well, these motherfuckers over here, and if you are a 99%er, I'm not saying motherfucker is into offend you. I just kind of talk like that sometimes. So I apologize, I guess. Not trying to offend, but you got to realize, if you're sitting on your ass watching Netflix, okay, there's no amount of self-growth that's going to come out of watching Netflix. A 1%er is going to read a book by somebody who is very successful, and then they're going to start putting things into action once they read it. If you're playing Xbox because it just wastes your time, you got to realize the ROI of your Xbox, the return on investment. Not only do you have to spend money to buy the damn thing, then you have to invest your time to use it. Double negative. The opposite of that would be going to the gym and getting fit. Okay? If you hang around guys that all go to the bar, well, you're going to get people that don't have a lot of skill set when it comes to making money. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to hang around guys that have businesses so you can learn stuff. It's not that hard. It's just a change of pace. It's a change of looking at things. It's doing things just a little differently. So if you're real broke, just start living and doing things rich people do, and eventually you're going to be rich. If the 5 friends you hang around are all rich, well, they're all going to rub off on you. You're going to learn what to do. You're going to learn the ropes. You're going to make more money. Now, I'm not saying rich where you got to have a private jet. But, dude, you should be able to, go on dates or go on a vacation every so often, whenever the hell you'd like, and it won't put a dent in your wallet where you're thinking, oh my God, how am I going to pay rent? That's living in scarcity. You don't want that. That ruins a guy's confidence. If you're really bad at sex, learn to get good at sex. Start practicing and getting better at the things you desire. If you desire a really good sex life, here's what you need to do. You're going to have to find a woman where you guys, the woman and the man, have mutual chemistry. Now, if I really like a girl and she's really bad at sex, I'm still going to give her the time of day. It's not the end all be all. You got to find a woman that thinks like this too. So if you're bad at sex, find a woman and practice. Enjoy her. Tell her that every time you want to keep getting better. Like when you're just honest and open and you're willing to improve, like it doesn't matter. You're willing to improve. The only way to have a good sex life, I hear a lot of guys talk about premature ejaculation. It's because you're scared. You're nervous. You haven't been there enough. You got to get better at it. You got to get better under pressure. That's the key. If you dress really bad, start to dress nice. Bad fashion, here's what you got to know. Bad fashion shows no self-care. It also shows lack of resources or money. When I say no self-care, what that essentially means is like, if you cared for yourself, you would dress good. If you cared for yourself, you would find good form-fitting clothes. They would be a brand that is not necessarily terrible. You know, you would look good even if you're on a budget. Stuff like that. Start to dress nice. You know, style your hair the way you like it. Make sure you whiten your teeth. All of these things that you can control, do it. Because self-care shows that you give a fuck. If you give a fuck, it shows that you have good resources and you have good hygiene and you're attractive. If you have stained teeth, whiten them. One of the biggest attraction cues for people is hygiene. Let me tell you something. The very first girl I dated, I ever dated, her name was Bree. Okay, Bree had big white teeth. And when she smiled, they looked like little chiclets. And this was the number one thing that I got attracted to. I was like, oh my God, her teeth look really great. I didn't even notice it though until like a few months. There was something about every time she smiled, what it did to my subconscious mind. It looked attractive. And it took me so long to realize it wasn't even her face that was attractive, it was her teeth. And then what I realized is like all of the other women I dated, and the next woman, they all had good teeth. And I started to go, if you type in guy with good teeth, like you got to understand, when they're nice and white, like look what, obviously like it's kind of hard to see because it's pixelated, but like look how nice and symmetrical and how nice that looks when there's no stainage, there's no shit all over them, when they're not yellow and look bad. This is really important. Okay, that's super important because it's an added attraction thing. Like if you can control it, just go buy a pack of $40 white strips and control it. So if you can control it and you choose not to, it's your fault. So what you're going to have to do, fellas, you're going to have to grow the nuts. You're going to have to put in some work. You're going to have to spend some money on the things to make your life a little better. And then you're going to have to increase your money so you can afford this stuff. But if you can control it and you choose not to, it's your fault because you're lazy. Because like I said, it might take 6 months. It might take a year. Like, dude, just go do it. Go do it. And over time, you get better. It's not like there's an end goal where it's like, oh, after a year, now I'm ready. It's gradual. Every day you make those 1% gains. And as you make those 1% gains, you feel better and better about yourself the entire time through. If you can control the insecurity, don't bitch. Fix it. Hi everybody, the next type of insecurity that we're going to talk about is one that you cannot control. Now, here's the thing, ones that you cannot control, if you're real insecure about it and you really fucking hate it, I'm going to be honest with you guys, this right here can be hell on earth. Because it feels like no matter what you do, you cannot improve this, and for a lot of you, you're right. If you're only 4'11", fuck, man. That sucks. But Uncle C over here is going to help you out a little bit. Here's the thing. Women are often nicer. Now, yes, as many bad experiences as a lot of you guys have had, women are oftentimes nicer regarding these issues than you would expect. So insecurities that a guy cannot control about his height or his body, she doesn't care about these nearly as much. She doesn't care about these nearly as much as you would think. And the reason for that is because, like I said in the past with general insecurities, she only cares if you care. And like I said, energy and tonality is everything. If it bothers you, it will show. If it does not bother you, it will not show. If it doesn't bother you, she might look at first glance and go, wow, he's short. But if you walk up directly to her and you're carrying yourself like a strong masculine guy, she's going to realize that you're not a guy to fuck with, that like this is a real guy in front of her, not just a pushover. She's going to realize that regardless of your height, you don't let that stop you. And that's probably going to be a turn on to her. Now, if you care about being short, she will now care that you're short. And why is that? Because short will show through your tone. Okay? You see this a lot on Tinder or shit. You get girls that say only date guys over 6 feet. Well, if you tweet back at that bitch and you go, listen, you know, I only date women who are under 125 pounds. You know, if you say that to her, that might give a little spunk back, a little tease back to her. That might actually push her button while she sees you're willing to offend. That might actually turn her on. So if short shows through your tone, now she's going to care that you're short. If you no longer give a shit, all of a sudden you're going to be an attractive guy. So things about yourself that you can't control, such as your race, your height, maybe the fact that you're going bald, etc., these will not matter to women if it does not matter to you. So here's the deal, fellas. I'm 5'10". I've been with women who are 6 feet tall plus. Like, I don't care. This doesn't bother me at all. Because I don't get intimidated by a woman. It's just the fact of the matter. Like, the vagina cannot hold any power over you. You can't think just because she's pretty that's supposed to intimidate you. Fuck all that. You're the man. You're the one in charge. Now, look at me. I'm only like 23 in this pic. Like, I'm going bald. And I'm going bald and I don't give a shit at all. Like, Jason Statham still gets hot women. Jason Statham looks like a king. He's got a nice jaw, he's lean, he's got a beard. Who gives a shit if he's bald? I don't give a shit if I'm bald. One day I will go bald. You know, I used to have long hair, I was a nerd, but like look at the hair here. Here I'm receding already and I'm like 22 in this photo. You can see how this whole side of my hairline's fucked up. What you gotta do is you gotta maximize other areas in your life. If you looks max yourself on other areas, I mean, look, there's my pecs, I've been benching. There's my big shoulder, I've been building with them shoulder presses. I've been dieting all summer. I'm lean in the abs. Like, you think if you carve out a nice body for yourself, she's gonna give a shit if you got some receding temples? Like, dude, who gives a rat's ass? This guy, like, if I edit this, look, you only see him from here up. You go, oh, that's so ugly. I mean, you see him from the head down, he's not ugly. And then guess what? If you look at him, like, the reason why he's not ugly, it's not like this guy, he's not, so many women think he's really attractive. It's not like his face is even that great. It's that his face is nice due to the fact that he's lean. This is why I keep saying, you guys, you can't have fat on your fucking body. You can't have fat on your body because when you're lean and your body looks lean like this, your face looks lean. And when your face looks lean, you look attractive. When you smile, then, you have all those lines and those dimples showing and it looks better. You see, when Jason was fat, he looked like a big, bald, fat guy. Well, then when he got lean, now he's like an attractive dude with a six-pack. So you guys get to, and this might be photoshopped, honestly, I don't even know. But you get what I'm saying here. You don't want fat on you because this doesn't matter. I don't give a shit about my hair. It's hair. Like, so you're telling me I can build my body like that and I can put in all this work and self-development and you're telling me like I'm supposed to let some freaking hair follicles hold me back? Stupidest thing I've ever heard. Maximize other areas in your life. The things that you cannot control will only bother her if it bothers you. And if it does bother you, you have to level up other areas in your life so that way it doesn't bother you as much because you know that you're really dominant and have a lot of value in other areas.